tayo about homeostasis. So, pinasadahan or nagkaroon tayo ng introduction about homeostasis, which is again, the regulation of your body's internal environment to maintain it in a relatively stable state. So, kapag nagkakaroon ka ng stimulus or nagkakaroon ka ng changes in the variable sa environment mo, such as changes in temperature, humidity, availability of nutrients, yung body mo nire-regulate yon para ma-maintain siya sa stable state and hindi ka mamatay, basically. And also, nagkaroon din tayo ng evolution ng multicellularity, which made it possible for organisms to have an internal environment of fluid for the cells, di ba? Para hindi siya very dependent dun sa external environment sa pag-exchange ng materials. And yung multicellularity then, it allowed major life functions to be subdivided among specialized groups of cells. So, hindi na lang isang cell yung nagpe-perform ng movement, nagpe-perform ng digestion, circulation ng nutrients, excretion ng waste, as well as reproduction. Nagkaroon ka na ngayon ng specific groups of cells for those major life functions. And then after those introductions, ayan, nag-proceed na tayo sa pag-discuss nung unang type ng animal tissue, which is epithelial tissue. And pag sinabi nating epithelial tissue, again, pinoprotektahan niya or it protects or acts as a barrier for the internal environment. So it acts as a barrier against mechanical injury, pathogens, and fluid loss to protect the internal environment from the external environment. And again, ito yung different structures natin na makikita sa isang epithelial cell. Meron ka dyang apical surface and basal surface. Kapag apical surface, ito yung free surface mo kung saan siya yung exposed dun sa water, air, or fluids within the body or yung exposed sa external environment. Basal surface naman, siya yung nakaharap or naka-expose dun sa internal environment natin. And meron tayong tinatawag na basal lamina or basement membrane which fixes our epithelial cells or epithelium, yung tissue natin, sa underlying tissue such as connective tissues. Yan. So, meron tayong 5 types ng epithelial tissue, yung simple squamous, stratified squamous, cuboidal, simple columnar, and simple pseudostratified. Again, anong tawag natin sa type of epithelial tissue na merong layer, isang layer of flattened cells? Kung natatandaan pa, what do you call the epithelial tissue with one layer of flattened cells? Okay, si Nel.
Simple squamous po.
Okay, very good. Simple squamous epithelium. Again, yung function ni simple squamous epithelium natin is for diffusion ng gases, diffusion ng nutrients, kaya kadalasan nakikita siya sa mga blood vessels as well as air sacs of lungs. And manipis lang siya para madaling mag-diffuse or mag-pass through yung mga materials na in-exchange natin. Next naman, what type of epithelial tissue? Yung composed of several layers of flattened cells. Okay, si Rachel.
Stratified squamous epithelium po.
Okay, very good. Stratified squamous epithelium. Yung mga stratified squamous epithelium naman natin, they have a unique characteristic na kaya nilang mag-regenerate rapidly. So, kailangan nilang mag-regenerate rapidly because madaling natatanggal yung mga cells natin. Kaya kailangan mapalitan sila kaagad kapag na-remove sila. That's why they are commonly found sa mga surfaces or mga parts ng body that are prone against abrasion, such as the skin and the mouth, etc. So next type of epithelium, alin naman yung merong pantay yung width as well as yung height ng cell. Pantay yung width and height ng epithelial cell mo. Or equal. What type of epithelial tissue? Okay, si Aliana. Okay, very good. Thank you. Hindi ka yata naka-unmute, Aliana. Pero sinabi na rin ni June, this is cuboidal epithelium. So sa cuboidal epithelium, yung cells nila, cube-like or pantay nga or equal yung width and height ng mga cells natin. And kadalasan yung free surface nila merong microvilli. At pag sinabi nating microvilli, again, they are small finger-like projections which increases the surface area of your cuboidal cell. Bakit kailangan i-increase yung surface area? Para mas maraming na-absorb, mas maraming nasisikrit. Yan. So, commonly found sa mga glands natin such as salivary glands. And then next, what type of epithelial tissue or epithelium yung composed of one layer of rectangular cells, tall and slender cells. Okay, thank you, Rachel and Nell. This is simple columnar epithelium. So yung simple columnar epithelium natin, they have a single layer of tall and slender cells, and yung nuclei or nucleus nila malapit sa kanilang base or basal surface. Yung free surface or apical surface, it may also have microvilli or cilia. Kapag naman cilia, they are longer and thinner than microvilli. Mukha silang mga paintbrush. Ayan, mukha silang paintbrush yung mga cilia natin. And yung function nila is for motility, for movement. So kapag nagmo-move or nagbibit na yung cilia, nadadala dun sa movement na yon yung mga materials. Yan. So they may also contain secretory vesicles. So yung function ni simple columnar epithelium is for secretion and absorption as well as secretion ng digestive enzymes. Kaya kadalasan nakikita siya sa lining ng intestines natin. Kasi 'di ba diyan tayo nag-a-absorb, diyan tayo nagda-digest. And then lastly, we have the simple pseudostratified columnar epithelium. Cuboidal epithelium is for secretion and absorption. Yan. So sa simple pseudostratified columnar epithelium, again, bakit nga ba na they appear as stratified or multi-layered kahit isang layer lang talaga sila? Anong meron dun sa cells nila? Bakit they appear multi-layered kahit single layered lang talaga sila? Anong meron dun sa cell? Okay, very good. Yung cells ng mga pseudostratified columnar epithelium natin, uneven yung height. Kaya they appear stratified or multi-layered. Ayan. So, sometimes meron ding cilia, yung ating pseudostratified columnar epithelium. And they are commonly found sa mga nasal cavities, tracheas, basically sa respiratory and digestive tract natin. So, yung function nila mostly for protection, but they may also function for secretion such as dun sa nasal cavities natin. So, yung mga simple pseudostratified columnar epithelium doon nagsasecrete ng mucus. Yung mucus, yun yung sipon mo. Yeah. So, yun lang naman for epithelial tissue. Now, let's head to connective tissues. So yung connective tissues natin, they have many functions such as connecting structures. That's why they are named connective tissues. Kasi yung pinaka obvious function nila ay mag-connect nga ng different parts of our body. So providing support, ayan, such as yung bones mo, nag-provide sila ng support, di ba? And sa mga muscles natin, storing fat, yung mga fat tissues mo, kasama kasi dito, producing blood cells because blood is also a type of connective tissue, protecting against infections and also for repairing. So nagbabago-bago yung consistency ng ating connective tissues kasi meron kang connective tissue na fluid, such as yung blood nga. Meron din namang soft and firm na parang gel, kagaya ng mga tendons, as well as hard and crystalline, kagaya ng bones. Now, itong mga connective tissues natin, they contain several cell types. Pero yung pinaka-common ay yung tinatawag nating fibroblasts. Yung mga fibroblasts, they can be spindle-shaped or star-shaped. Sige, wait. Tatry ko if kaya kong i-drawing. Ganito yung itsura nung spindle shape. Andyan yung nucleus. Tapos yung star shape, mukha siyang star. Kaya siya star shape. Ganyan. Yeah. So, spindle shape, tapos star shape na fibroblast. So, aside from the fibroblast, yung other types of cells pa na makikita natin sa connective tissues ay macrophages. Yung macrophages naman, nag-engulf sila ng foreign particles and any cell debris para ma-maintain or ma-prevent yung invasion sa ating connective tissues. Yan. Meron ding other specialized cells depending on the type of connective tissue. Kasi hindi naman siya palaging fibroblast. So later makikita nyo na kapag adipose tissue na or fat tissue na, mag-iiba na yung type of cell na nandun dun sa connective tissue na yon. Adipocytes na siya, hindi na siya fibroblast. But for the other types of connective tissues, ito yung commonly found na cell which is fibroblast kasi yung mga fibroblast natin, they make up the 3 types of connective tissue fibers, the collagen, the reticular, as well as the elastic fibers. Yan. So aside from the cells, ayan, sorry, panglasing yung sulat ko kasi naiwan ko yung pen ko sa bahay. Kaya yung trackpad lang yung ginagamit ko. Sorry. Ayan. So, aside from the cells, yung connective tissues natin, they are also composed of the fibers. Ayun nga, yung tatlo kong nabanggit, yung collagen, reticular, elastic fibers. Tapos, meron din tayong tinatawag na ground substance. Ground as in yung lupa, tapos substance. Yes na lang. Yung mga ground substance naman, they are gel-like, tapos transparent sila, and sila yung nag-fill nung spaces in between the cells as well as the fibers. Ayan. So, para siyang cytoplasm, basically, dun sa connective tissue. Tapos, together, yung fibers, tsaka yung ground substance natin, they make up the extracellular matrix. Tapos, sa extracellular matrix, dun nakascatter or nakakalat yung different cells natin. So now let's discuss the different types of connective tissue fibers, starting first with collagen fibers. So yung mga collagen fibers natin, they are thick fibers and they are composed of long parallel collagen bundles. Okay? Yung isang hiblang ganyan, collagen yan, tapos kapag pinagsama-sama mo na sila, ginawa mo na silang bundle, collagen fibers na sila. Yan. So yung mga fibers na to, collagen fibers na to, they provide strength and also some flexibility dun sa ating connective tissue. So for example, sa mga tendons natin, kapag sinabi nating tendons, yung pinagko-connect ng tendons ay muscle and bones. Okay? And yung connect kapag naman bones to bones, yan, bones to bones, ang tawag naman natin doon ay ligaments. Again, kapag tendons, muscle to bones, kapag ligaments, bones to bones. Okay, magkaiba siya. So, yung drawing niya ay, kunwari, ayan yung bone mo. Tapos, may muscle ka dito. Sana maintindihan nyo. Or pwede nyo i-search ngayon, ayan, yung ligaments tsaka yung tendons. Kasi feeling ko mas okay yung illustration doon. Basta kapag nagko-connect ng muscles tsaka ng bones, tendons yung tawag. Kapag kino-connect ay dalawang bones, ligaments na yung tawag. Ayan. So next, you have your reticular fibers. Yung mga reticular fibers naman, they are also composed of collagen proteins. Ayan. So, meron kasi tayong different types of collagen. Meron kang type 1 collagen, type 2 collagen, type 3 collagen, and so on. Yung reticular fibers, they are commonly composed of type 3 collagen. Okay, so they are thin collagen fibers cross-linked to form a network. So, anong kaibahan nila sa collagen fibers? Yung collagen fibers kasi type 1 collagen, tapos makakapal sila and parallel yung arrangement nila sa bundle. On the other hand, kapag reticular fibers, maninipis lang sila. Ayan, mukha silang mga veins. Maninipis lang sila, tapos nagfo-form sila ng network or meron silang branches. So, ang ginagawa nila, they support different or certain types of tissues, kagaya ng liver, ng kidney, ng spleen, and lymph nodes. So, mas delicate sila kaysa sa collagen fibers natin kasi again, they are thinner and they form a network. Yan. And then lastly, we have elastic fibers. So, yung elastic fibers natin, they are composed of a rubbery protein called elastin. From its name, ano kaya ang purpose or ano kaya yung function ng elastic fibers? Function ng elastic fibers? They provide Okay, very good. Thank you. They provide flexibility, kaya elastic fibers. So, yung mga fibers natin, they add elasticity or flexibility dun sa tissue natin, which allows it to return to its original shape after being stretched. So, for example, try nyo na i-pinch yung inyong skin dito sa back of your palm. Try nyo siyang i-pinch, tapos try nyong hilahin. Nahihila nyo ba siya or natatanggal nyo from your body? Diba hindi nyo siya natatanggal, nahihila from your body because of the connective, because of the collagen fibers. So, yung collagen fibers, pinaprevent niya yung skin nyo na ma-tear completely from your body kasi nga nagpro-provide siya ng strength and rigidity. On the other hand, kapag naman nilet go mo yung pinch na skin mo, bumabalik siya sa dati, diba? After niyang ma-stretch because of the presence of elastic fibers. Because it allows it nga to return to its original shape even after being stretched. Yan. So, this is also commonly found yung mga elastic fibers sa lungs nyo kasi nagre-require doon ng elasticity. Diba kapag i-inhale ka tsaka nag-exhale ka, yung lungs mo nag-contract tsaka nag-expand. So, syempre, kailangan din nilang bumalik dun sa, kailangan nila ng elasticity kapag nagko-contract at nag-expand sila kada humihinga ka. Para hindi sila nade-deform. So, clear po ba tayo so far dun sa tatlong types ng connective tissue fibers? Fibers pa lang to, fibers. Di pa yung mismong types. Okay, sige. So now na clear na yon, let's proceed with discussing the different types of connective tissues. Meron tayong 6. We have the connective tissue propers. Ito yung connective tissue propers, which can be subdivided into 2, the loose connective tissue and also the dense connective tissue. And then we have the cartilage, the bone, the adipose tissue or fat tissue, and then lastly, we have the blood. Yeah. So let's start first with the 2. Starting first with loose connective tissue. So, yung mga loose connective tissue natin, they are composed of fibroblasts. So, yun yung cells na makikita natin sa loose connective tissue. And these fibroblasts, they are surrounded by collagen and elastin fibers. So, yung loose connective tissues natin, they are the most widespread connective tissue that can be found in the body. Kaya sila yung pinakamalaking type ng connective tissue or pinakamaraming type sa body natin. And yung function nila is to bind the epithelia to the underlying tissue and also holds the organ in place. Yan. So, kaya loose connective tissue naman yung pangalan nila because loose yung pagkaka-weave ng kanilang fibers or loose yung arrangement ng fibers in which it may sometimes include all fiber types. So, for example, meron kang collagen, meron kang elastin, tsaka fibers. So, nagkakaiba-iba lang dun sa dami ng collagen, elastin, and reticular fibers. Yan. So, meron pa kasing different types of loose connective tissue. Meron pang areolar, meron pang adipose, meron pang reticular. Siyempre, yung reticular made up of reticular fibers. So, yung function nila is to provide support, elasticity, as well as to allow diffusion. Yan. So, next naman natin, we have dense connective tissue. If i-compare nyo siya, yung picture niya, sa loose connective tissue natin, makikita nyo na kapag dense, mas meron na siyang or mas kita mo na yung pagkakapak nung collagen fibers natin or nung mga fibers natin. Kasi dito, mukha pa siyang gulo-gulo. Mukha lang siyang binasta. Mukha lang siyang gulo-gulo kasi nga loose yung arrangement or yung pagkaka-weave ng fibers. Unlike kapag sa dense connective tissues na yung mga fibroblast mo tsaka yung collagen and elastin fibers mo, they are dense and arranged in parallel bundles. Yan. So, nakaparallel sila. So, meron tayong two types of dense connective tissue. You have regular and irregular dense connective tissue. Kapag regular dense connective tissue, yung arrangement ng collagen fibers mo, ng elastin fibers mo, as well as ng mga fibroblast mo, ay nakaparallel sila sa iisang direksyon. So, parallel sila pa ganyang direction. On the other hand, kapag irregular, nakaparallel siya in all directions. So, meron kang bundle dito, may bundle ka dito, tas may bundle ka din dito. So, bakit kailangan ng irregular or kailangan na in all directions, meron kang bundles ng collagen fibers as well as dense masses ng mga fibroblasts? Yung function kasi niya is to provide tensile strength or provide strength in all directions para kahit na mag-apply ka ng force or ng pressure sa kahit anong direction, nasusuportahan niya. Unlike kasi kapag regular lang na kung saang direction lang siya nakaparallel, dun lang yung napro-providean niya ng support. That's why yung mga dense connective tissue natin commonly found sa tendons, ligaments, muscles, as well as sa digestive tract natin. Kasi sila yung mga parts or mga organs natin na kadalasan ginagamitan natin ng movement, ginagamitan natin ng force. And yung function again is to provide strength and flexibility. Yan. So clear po ba so far sa dalawang types of sa dalawang types ng connective tissue upper, the dense and loose connective tissue? Okay, heart react if yes. Okay, thank you. So now let's proceed naman sa cartilage. So yung mga cartilage natin, hindi na fibroblast yung type of cells na makikita mo sa kanila. Instead, they have a specialized cells called chondrocytes. Ayan, they are called chondrocytes. So meron tayong tinatawag na chondrocytes, meron din tayong tinatawag na chondroblast. So type ko na lang sa chat box. Ay. Asan yung chat box na? So, yung mga chondroblast natin, yung function nila is to produce cartilage. On the other hand, yung chondrocytes naman natin, they are the matured chondroblast. So, kapag tumanda na si chondroblast, nagiging chondrocytes na siya, and yung function niya is to maintain the cartilage. Yan, sinense ko sa chat box yung spelling. So, yung mga chondrocytes natin, tsaka mga chondroblast natin, they are surrounded by a network of fibers, as well as chondroitin sulfate. So, together, yung mga they make cartilage a strong yet flexible material. So, di ba yung mga cartilage natin, although medyo solid sila, mas malambot pa rin sila compared to bones natin. Meron pa rin siyang flexibility. Ayan. So, yung mga cartilage natin, they are avascular. Type ko ulit, avascular. Meaning ng avascular, they don't have blood vessels. Okay? Walang blood vessels sa mga cartilage natin. So, paano sila kumukuha ng nutrients para dun sa mga cells nila kung wala silang blood vessels? Kasi 'di ba sa blood vessels natin, dun ka nakikipag-exchange ng gases and nutrients. So, kumukuha sila ng nutrients from the surrounding connective tissues na malapit sa kanila. So, may nakasurround din sa kanilang connective tissue, tas dun sila nambuburaot. Dun sila kumukuha ng nutrients. Yan. So they are usually found in ends of long bones in the ears, nose, parts of the airways, and between the vertebra in the spinal column because they act as a cushion between those parts or organs of the body. So for example, dito sa vertebrae in the spinal column. So in between your spinal column, yung bawat maliliit doon, meron kang disc ng cartilage to act as a cushion nga. Yan. So that's why yung mga ears mo, yung mga nose ng mga baby, kapag newborn sila, flat pa kadalasan. Lahat ng newborn baby, flat yung ilong. Walang pinapanganak na baby na matangos na agad yung ilong. Okay? At least wala pa akong na-encounter. Pero wala pa kasi cartilage pa yung nandun, hindi pa siya bone. And then as you grow older, saka pa lang nagfo-form yung mga bones nyo, napapaltan niya na yung cartilage, kaya nafo-form na yung nose nyo. Ayan. So, yung cartilage natin, they provide strong and support and also compression. Yan. So, nagpro-provide din sila ng low friction surface for joint movement. Kaya yung mga cartilage natin, kadalasan nakikita din sa mga joints, di ba? Kung ito yung bone mo, may joint ka dito. So, ito yung another bone, long bone. So, ito yung, nandyan yung cartilage mo kasi kapag wala ka dyang cushion or parang wala kang something in between those bones, kapag ginagamit mo yung mga bones na yon, magkikiskisan sila. So, magagasgas, magiging prone to abrasion or magkakaroon ng abrasion, which means madadamage over time yung mga bones mo dahil sa friction. That's why nagkaroon tayo ng joints or ng cartilage in between those bones. Aside from acting as a cushion. And the next type, we have the bone. The bone, or also known as the osseous tissues. Ito type ko ulit. Nasa na yung chat box mo? Yeah. So yung bone, they are actually a type of connective tissue, and then yung mga organs na bone na tinatawag natin, yun na yung different types of bone, such as yung femur, yung tibia, yun na yung mismong organ. Pero if as a whole, bone tissue talaga siya. Osseous tissue siya. So they are the densest among the connective tissues. Bakit sila yung densest? Because they are mineralized, they are calcified. So they are composed of specialized types of cells then, hindi din fibroblast yung cells na makikita natin sa bones. Instead we have osteoblast, osteocyte, as well as osteoclast. Si osteoblast natin, sila yung nagbi-build or nagpro-produce ng bones. Si osteocytes natin, which is a matured version ni osteoblast, sila naman yung nagme-maintain ng bone. And then lastly, you have osteoclast, which breaks bone. Sipin may cells ka na binabali yung buto mo dyan. Pero meron talaga. Yun yung trabaho ni osteoclast. So, paano ba sila nag-work together? So, again, I've mentioned earlier, di ba, na yung mga bones mo, kapag ginagamit mo sila, syempre may presence pa rin ng friction, nagagasgas. So, nagkakaroon ka ng mga micro-abrasions, mga micro-damages dun sa iyong bone. So, ang gagawin ngayon ni osteocytes, i-detect niya yung mga micro-abrasions na yun, bones, tapos i-report niya kay osteoclast. Okay, kay osteoclast. Pag nireport niya na kay osteoclast, ang gagawin ni osteoclast, i-breakdown niya yung bone. Yung part na yon kung saan nagkaroon ng damage dun sa bone mo. Nade-detect ni osteocyte. Tapos, after niyang masira or after niyang ma-breakdown, ang gagawin naman ni osteoblast, magbubuo siya ng panibagong bone mula dun sa tinanggal ni osteoclast. Okay? Tinype ko na sa chat. Hindi ba siya lumalabas? Ayan, tinype ko na siya. Again, si osteocytes, dinedetect niya yung mga microabrasions, yung mga damages, small damages doon sa report niya kay osteoclast. Osteoclast, tatanggalin yung mga damaged bones na yon, tapos magre-report siya kay osteoblast. Yung gagawin naman ni osteoblast, magbibuild siya ng panibagong bone dun sa tinanggal ni osteoclast para nare-renew or na-maintain yung bones mo. Yeah. So again, yung bones natin, they are mineralized mainly with calcium salts such as calcium phosphate. That's why, di ba, kapag nung bata pa kayo, pinapainom kayo ng gatas kasi rich in calcium daw para tumibay yung mga buto nyo. So this provides, yung calcium, nagpro-provide ng strength and rigidity dun sa inyong bone. That's why kapag matanda na kayo, kapag habang tumatanda tayo, yung bones natin or yung calcium content dun sa bones natin, umuunti din ng umuunti. That's why, yung mga matatanda, if mapapansin nyo, nakakuba na sila kasi hindi na matibay yung bones nila. Kaya, mayroong mga adult milk na marketed para sa kanila. Yung mga Anlin, ganyan. Tapos, yung mga babae, mas prone sila sa osteoporosis. Yun nga yun, yung sa bones natin. Kung saan hindi na siya as strong as before, mas prone yung mga girls sa osteoporosis than men. That's why yung sa Anlin, if mapapansin nyo, puro lola yung nandun. Wala masyadong lolo. Anyways, yan. Ang function ng bone natin is to provide support, protection, as well as help in movement together with the muscles. Yan. So, meron tayong different parts sa bones natin. If tandaan nyo pa yung video nyo under the microscope dong first quarter, meron dong bone tissue, di ba? Tapos medyo ganito yung itsura, pero parang yung sa pinakita namin is color brown lang. So you have the central canal or the Harvesian canal which contains your blood vessels and nerves. Okay, nandyan yung blood vessels and nerves. Tapos you have your osteocyte in between your lamellae. So concentric layer kasi siya, di ba? Pag ganyan siya, yan. Tapos, yung isang concentric layer na yan, ang tawag mo dyan ay lamellae. L-A-M-E-L-L-A-E. Lamellae. Tapos, yung isang unit na yan ng bilog, ang tawag mo dyan ay osteon. Osteon. O-S-T-E-O-N. Osteon. Yan. So, next, second to the last natin, we have adipose tissue or also known as fat tissues. So, yung mga adipose tissues natin, they also have specialized types of cells called adipocytes. Yung mga adipocytes natin, sila yung nag-i-store ng fats sa ating body. So, merong mga fat droplets, tapos ina-absorb yon ng mga adipose cells or ng mga adipocytes, kaya sila nagsiswell. Okay? Kaya kapag mas marami kang fat, syempre mas marami kang adipocytes na nagsiswell, kaya mas nag-a-appear ka na mataba. Kapag naman ginamit mo yung fat na yon for energy, kasi energy reserve yung isa sa mga function ng ating adipose tissue, ayan, mag-shrink yung adipocytes mo, kasi nga nawala na ng fat droplet, dahil ginamit yung fat as a fuel sa ating body. Yan. So, meron pa tayong two types ng adipocytes. Meron kang white tsaka brown, pero di na natin yun i-discuss kasi hindi naman siya neat. But if gusto nyong mag-search pa further, ayan, meron tayong white, meron din tayong brown. Search nyo na lang yung difference on your own. So, yung mga adipose tissue natin or fat tissues natin, they are richly supplied with blood vessels unlike cartilage na vascular because kailangan mo nga ng vessels in order to efficiently exchange your fats sa adipocytes natin as well as dun sa body. So, para mas madaling magkuha at mag-deposit ng fats papunta dun sa adipocytes. So, they are usually found under the skin, around the heart, and in internal organs such as the kidneys. So they provide cushion sa mga organs nyo, kaya try nyong suntukin yung matamaan yung kapitbahay. Joke lang, recorded pala to. Hindi, try nyong sumuntok ng unan. 'Di ba? Hindi siya masakit. Hindi siya gaanong masakit kasi nga may cushion ka. Ayan. So, yung unan, balot nyo sa inyo, tas try nyong suntukin yung sarili nyo. Hindi siya masakit kasi may cushion ka, which is yung adipose tissue mo nga. And also, yung isa pa sa mga function nila is for insulation. If mapapansin nyo yung mga seals natin, alam nyo naman yung seals, yung nasa North Pole, South Pole, ganyan. Yung mga seals natin, matataba sila. Meron silang blubber. Yun yung tawag sa fats nila. Blubber, fat tissues nila. So yung mga blubbers na yon or marami silang fats, para hindi ka agad nag-escape yung heat from their body. So again, yung function niya is for insulation, para hindi ka mabilis na lamigin. Kaya pansinin nyo, if payat ka, mas madali kang lamigin kaysa sa person na merong madaming adipose tissue. Pero syempre, kapag kabaliktaran naman nun, kapag mainit, mas hindi ka maiinitan kapag payat ka. Kasi nga, wala ka namang adipose tissue na magta-trap ng heat inside your body. Yan. And then, ito, yung adipose tissue, tatandaan nyo na wala tayong masyadong ground substance, little to non-ground substance sa adipose tissue. And it is mostly composed of adipocytes or nung mga cells natin. Kaya if mapapansin nyo yung picture natin dyan, ayan no, walang spaces in between the cells. So magkakadikit lang, clumped na adipocytes. And then lastly, we have the blood. Last type of connective tissue, the blood. So yung blood naman natin, they have a liquid extracellular matrix called the plasma. Okay? So itong kulay white, yan yung plasma. So sa inside the plasma, nandun nakasuspend yung mga different types of blood cells natin such as erythrocytes, leukocytes, as well as platelets. So alam naman po ba kung ano yung erythrocytes? Makiki-type sa chat box kung ano yung erythrocytes, yung other name niya. Okay, very good. They are the red blood cells or RBC. How about your leukocytes? The leukocytes. Okay, very good. Your white blood cell. And then, ano yung function ng erythrocytes natin or red blood cells? Okay, very good. Sila yung nagde-deliver, nagtatransport ng oxygen natin throughout the body because meron sila nung hemoglobin, kung saan doon nag-a-attach yung oxygen. How about the leukocytes? Anong function ng leukocytes or white blood cells? Okay, for immunity, for protection, for defense. Protection against foreign substance invasion. Okay, so sila yung nagpre-prevent na ma-invade tayo ng mga bacteria, ng mga viruses, ganyan-ganyan. And then lastly, we have the platelets. Anong function ng platelets? Ito yung cute na bata sa sa cells at work, yung mga platelets. Repair? Okay, tama naman. So, sila yung responsible for blood clotting. 'Di ba pag nagkakasugat kayo, parang may nagfo-form na clot doon, yung kinukutkot nyo kasi makati siya. So, yun na yung mga platelets natin. So, sila yung nagsisil ng wounds para hindi ka mamatay sa bleeding. So, yung blood natin or yung mga red blood cells natin as well as plasma, they are found throughout the circulatory system. That's why it's considered a connective tissue. Kasi yung blood mo, essentially, it connects all parts of your body. Kasi kailangan mo ng supply ng blood sa brain, sa lungs, saan pa ba, sa mga muscles mo, di ba? Kaya it is a type of connective tissue pa rin, technically. And yung major transport nila, mga nabanggit nyo na kanina, yung transport natin, yung protection, as well as repair, which is yun nga yung sa pag-seal ng mga wounds natin. And it also maintains the internal fluid environment. So yun lang naman for blood. And for the 6 types of connective tissues. So ito yung summary ng mga pinagsasabi ko kasi hindi ko siya masulat sa board kaya pwede nyo tong i-screenshot as a reference. So, nandito yung reticular connective tissue included dyan, though hindi ko siya nabanggit o hindi siya nakalagay sa slides talaga. Yung reticular, again, composed siya ng reticular fibers. Yan. So, may question pa po ba so far about our lesson? Um, thumbs up tuloy. Heart react if walang question. Okay, si Sam, meron daw question. Yes, Sam?
Miss, ano yung reticular connective tissue po?
Reticular connective tissue is a specific type of loose connective tissue, and it is made up of reticular fibers.
Miss, question,
Yes?
ano yung difference sa loose at reticular po?
Loose connective tissue, para siyang umbrella term natin. Reticular connective tissue is a specific type of loose connective tissue.
Okay po, thank you po, Miss.
Okay. May question pa ba? Yan. So, if wala na, heart react po tayo. Okay, si Mika, meron daw.
Ma'am, ano po yung pinagkakaiba po ng reticular fibers po sa collagen fibers?
Okay, yung difference ng reticular fibers natin sa collagen fibers is una yung type ng collagen that make them up. So, kapag collagen fibers, usually type 1 collagen. Kapag reticular fibers, type 3 collagen. Okay, aside from those, yung collagen fibers natin, they are thicker. Mas makapal sila kaysa kay reticular fibers. And yung arrangement din ng mga collagen natin. So, yung mga collagen natin, they are arranged in a parallel bundles. On the other hand, si reticular fibers, naka-network sila. Yan. So, mas delicate yung mga reticular kesa kay collagen fibers kasi nga they are thinner. Okay. May question pa po? Sige.